Hello everyone, kumusta po kayo? Sana ay okay pa rin po kayo. I received a lot of questions on how to avail of the travel tax exemptions for Filipino balikbayans. Ano ba ang travel tax at para saan ba ito? Magkano ba ang travel tax? Lahat ba ng balikbayan ay entitled sa travel tax exemption? Paano ba ma-avail ang travel tax exemption? Paano kung ikaw ay exempt sa travel tax ngunit nakapagbayad ka na? Pwede ba itong ma-refund? Paano? Pag-uusapan po natin yan right after this. Ang travel tax exemption po ay isa sa mga privileges ng isang balikbayan under the Balikbayan program of the Philippine government. Pero ano ba ang travel tax? The travel tax is a levy imposed by the Philippine government on individuals who are leaving the country irrespective of the place where the air ticket is issued and the form or place of payment as provided for by Presidential Decree number 1183 as amended. Saan ba napupunta ang binabayaran nating travel tax? Pursuant to Section 73 of RA 9593, 50% of the proceeds mula sa travel tax collections ay napupunta sa TIEZA, 40% naman sa Commission on Higher Education or CHED for tourism-related educational programs and courses, at 10% naman sa National Commission for Culture and Arts or NCCA. TIEZA stands for Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority. It is a government-owned and controlled corporation or GOCC attached to the Department of Tourism. It is responsible for the development, promotion, and supervision of tourism projects in the Philippines. Ito rin po ang nagpapatupad ng pangongolekta ng travel tax. Magkano ba ang travel tax? Depende po ito sa plane ticket ninyo. If you are traveling on a business class ticket, the full travel tax is 2,700 pesos. If economy class naman po ay 1,620 pesos. May standard reduced tax din po for minors from 2 years and 1 day to 12th birthday on date of travel. Accredited Filipino journalist whose travel is in pursuit of journalistic assignment, those authorized by the President of the Republic of the Philippines for reasons of national interest, mayroon ding privileged reduced travel tax for legitimate spouse of an overseas Filipino worker or OFW, unmarried children of an OFW, whether legitimate or illegitimate who are below 21 years of age, at children of OFWs with disabilities even above 21 years of age. For clarity, the primary law on travel tax exemption is Presidential Decree number 1183, which was issued way back in 1977. Under Section 2 of that law, there are a number of individuals who are exempt from the payment of travel tax. PD number 1183 was amended by Executive Order number 283 in 1987, which expanded the list of individuals who are exempt from the payment of travel tax. Then came RA 6768 in 1989, which was amended by RA 9174 in 2002. These two laws are the ones that govern the Balikbayan program of the Philippine government. And by express provision of these laws, Filipino balikbayans now enjoy the travel tax exemption as provided by PD 1183. I would like to focus on those balikbayans who are entitled to the travel tax exemption under those laws taken together. Sino-sino ba ang mga balikbayan na qualified sa travel tax exemption? First, overseas Filipino workers dahil expressly kasama sila sa definition ng balikbayan, pero dapat ang flight nila ay papunta sa bansa kung saan sila magtatrabaho. If the travel is not for work but for vacation, hindi sila exempt sa travel tax. Next, the Filipino citizen who is a permanent resident of another country whose stay in the Philippines is less than 1 year and is going back to their country of permanent residence. Ito po ay nakasaad mismo sa PD 1183. Next, the balikbayan who is a Filipino citizen who has been continuously out of the Philippines for a period of at least 1 year and whose stay in the Philippines is less than 1 year. And finally, the former Filipino citizen and the spouse or child of a former Filipino citizen who traveled with the latter to the Philippines and whose stay in the Philippines is less than 1 year. So this is the clarification that I would like to make, that not all Balikbayans are entitled to the travel tax exemption privilege. It is because of the qualification or conditions set by PD 1183 na dapat you must have stayed in the Philippines for less than 1 year. If you have stayed in the Philippines for a year or more, then you are no longer qualified for travel tax exemption. Kailangan nyo na pong magbayad ng travel tax. I do not know the wisdom why the law makes such a distinction, but based on the website of TIEZA, it is how it is being interpreted. Now, paano ba mag-avail ng travel tax exemption? It will be checked if you have already paid your travel tax the moment na mag-check-in na kayo for your flight. In many instances, based on my experience, kasama na ang travel tax sa binabayaran pag bumili ng ticket. Airline companies already include the travel tax sa pagkuha nyo pa lang ng plane ticket. That is why when you check in on the day of your flight, they will check your ticket or your account if it is already included doon sa binayaran ninyo. If it is already paid, then the check-in attendant will no longer require you to pay the travel tax. But if your travel tax is not included in your plane ticket, then you will be advised to settle first your travel tax at a nearby travel tax center of TIEZA and simply to go back thereafter to the check-in counter with your official receipt. And that's the time that you will be admitted for check-in. You don't have to worry because the travel tax center is located just within the airport, usually close to the check-in counters. If you know that you are not exempt from travel tax and it is not yet included when you purchased your plane ticket, it is actually more convenient to pay your travel tax online via the official website of TIEZA. Ito po yung website nila. I will put the link in the description box of this video. May instructions naman po dyan kung paano magbayad ng travel tax online. Pero kung kayo naman po ay exempt sa travel tax, pwede po kayong mag-apply for travel tax exemption either online or sa travel tax center ng TIEZA. I will also post the link for the online application for travel tax exemption certificate sa description box po ng video na to. This is how the TIEZA website looks like. For me, it is more convenient to apply for exemption online. But just make sure that you make your application days before your intended flight dahil at least 3 days po ang processing ng application online. But if you forgot to apply online or you didn't have enough time before your scheduled flight, what you can do is you can proceed to the travel tax counter ng TIEZA before your flight at the airport. But you need to give yourself an extra time allowance because may queuing o pila din po sa counter. So, what are the requirements when you apply for travel tax exemption? Ayon po sa official website ng TIEZA, here are the standard requirements for online applications. You will need to prepare a clear scanned copy of the following in either PDF or JPG format. 2x2 ID picture taken within the last 6 months, identification page of the passport, airline ticket or flight booking. Other specific requirements are the following. For OFWs, kung na-hire po kayo through POAA, the Overseas Employment Certificate o OEC serves as the travel tax exemption certificate and there is no need to apply for a TIEZA. Yun na pong OEC ang ipresenta ninyo for exemption. If however you were directly hired abroad, you will need to upload your Certificate of Employment issued by the Philippine Embassy or Consulate in the place of work or an employment contract authenticated by the Philippine Embassy or Consulate. For Filipinos who are permanent residents abroad, you will need a copy of the page of your passport containing the stamp of your last arrival in the Philippines as well as your proof of permanent residence in foreign country. Halimbawa po nito ay US Green Card, Canadian PR Card or Canadian Form 1000 or landing paper. Kailangan po ang front and back. Kung hindi po ito available, you can present a valid certification from the Philippine Consulate or Embassy indicating that the Filipino has resided uninterruptedly for a period of 5 years in the foreign country without having been absent therefrom for more than 6 months in any 1 year, or appropriate stamps in the passport to prove such length of stay. For the qualified balikbayan naman po, you will need a scanned copy of all pages of your current passport. You need to combine all scanned pages of the passport in one PDF file, visa or residence card issued by your country of residence, airline ticket used in traveling to the Philippines. Note, in case your last arrival in the Philippines is stamped in an old passport, you will need to scan this page from your old passport and include it in the PDF file. And for foreign spouse or child of a former Filipino citizen, kailangan po ang copy of foreign passport of former Filipino or other evidence of former Philippine citizenship, latest arrival stamp in the Philippines, marriage contract of accompanying spouse, or birth certificate or adoption papers of the child. For online application, you will need to submit these documents in scanned copy, but if you apply at the TIEZA Travel Tax Center or airport counter, I suppose that you will need to present these documents in hard copies. Now, what if you already paid the travel tax when you purchased your plane ticket? Or what if your flight was cancelled and you have already paid the travel tax? Are you entitled to a refund? The answer is yes, but how? This for me will be quite a challenge because I have not found a way to submit a claim for refund and the documentary requirements online. So that means to say, you really have to submit all these documentary requirements for refund either in person or by mail. And the refund is made through a check which you can claim only personally unless you send a representative armed with a special power of attorney. Napakahirap po nito lalo na sa mga balikbayan who are flying back to their country of residence. So if you have experienced claiming a tax refund pagdating po sa travel tax, we would appreciate it if you can share your experience in the comment section below. But please allow me to take up some basic policies of TIEZA on travel tax refund. Claims for refund must be made within 2 years from the date of payment. The travel tax refund check is for deposit to the payee's account only, but may be uncrossed upon the request of the payee, who shall be properly identified. If the claimant is not the passenger, a special power of attorney shall be submitted for the release of the check. For a minor payee, the parent shall present the minor's original birth certificate unless the parent signed the passport on behalf of the minor. If the claimant is not the minor's parent, he or she shall present the minor's original birth certificate and submit a special power of attorney executed by the minor's parents. Airline companies or their agents may grant the refund to the passenger if the travel tax sought to be refunded has not yet been remitted to the TIEZA. Others might say that they would not go through the pain and inconvenience of getting a refund. For them, it is too much to bear. Sa tingin ko naman po, it is both time-consuming and too much of a hassle. Maybe sa iba, maliit na halaga lang ito, pero sa iba, lalo na sa mga OFWs, it is a substantial amount of money. I hope that you have learned something from this video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, I am inviting you to subscribe and to be part of our community. Please don't forget to hit that notification bell icon so that you will get notified of our future videos. Always remember, ignorance of the law excuses no one from compliance therewith. I will see you in my next video. Ingat po kayo.